It was a typical Thursday evening at the high school where I worked as a janitor. My colleague Mike and I were busy cleaning the hallways and emptying trash bins. The sun had set, and the school was eerily quiet as most of the students and staff had already gone home for the day. Suddenly, the loudspeaker crackled to life and the principal's voice echoed through the building, instructing everyone to initiate a lockdown due to a potential threat in the area. The seriousness in his voice sent shivers down my spine, and I exchanged a worried glance with Mike. Lockdown drills were common at our school, but this one felt different. There was an uneasy tension in the air as we quickly locked all the doors and barricaded ourselves inside a janitorial closet. We knew we had to stay put until the all-clear signal was given. As we waited in the dimly lit closet, the minutes felt like hours. The silence was broken only by the faint sound of our breathing. Every creak and rustle outside the door sent our hearts racing. I couldn't help but wonder what could be happening outside. Then, suddenly, we heard the echo of hurried footsteps in the hallway. Fear gripped my heart as I saw the doorknob turn. The door was locked, but the person outside seemed determined to get in. My mind raced with possibilities of who it could be and what they might want. Just as panic threatened to consume us, a woman's voice filled with confusion and desperation called out, "Let me in! Please, someone help me!" Her voice sent chills down my spine, and I exchanged a wide-eyed look with Mike. It was evident that the woman was distressed, but we couldn't risk opening the door without knowing for sure if she posed a threat. As the woman continued to plead and knock on the door, I discreetly pulled out my phone and called the police. I whispered into the phone, describing the situation and our location in hushed tones. The dispatcher assured me that help was on the way and advised us to remain in the closet until the police arrived. The minutes dragged on as we anxiously awaited their arrival. The woman's pleas outside the door became increasingly desperate, and my heart went out to her, but we knew that our safety was paramount. Finally, we heard the blaring sirens of police cars approaching the school. The woman's voice grew fainter as the police seemed to have intercepted her. Relief washed over us as we knew that help had arrived just in time. Soon after, we heard the voices of the police officers, followed by the sound of handcuffs clicking into place. The situation outside was under control. Once the all-clear signal was given, Mike and I emerged from the closet, our legs shaky from the adrenaline. The police informed us that the woman was mentally ill and had wandered onto the school grounds with a knife. Thankfully, they were able to subdue her without any injuries. In the aftermath of the incident, the school reevaluated its security measures and implemented new protocols to ensure the safety of students and staff. The lockdown had been a harrowing experience, but it served as a stark reminder of the importance of preparedness and vigilance. It was a chilly autumn evening, and the halls of our high school were filled with the excitement of Halloween approaching. But little did I know that this Halloween would be etched in my memory forever. Not for the fun costumes or sweet treats, but for the bone-chilling encounter that would leave me terrified of clowns. As I made my way to the restroom during a break between classes, I noticed a peculiar figure lurking in the corner of my eye. At first, I dismissed it as a fellow student dressed up for the Halloween spirit. Clowns were all the rage at the time, and it wasn't uncommon to see someone donning clown makeup and outfits. But as I got closer, a feeling of unease washed over me. The person's clown costume was unnervingly realistic, with a sinister grin painted on their white-painted face. Their eyes seemed to follow my every move, and a shiver ran down my spine. Trying not to show my fear, I quickly entered the restroom, hoping that the person in the clown costume was just playing a prank on unsuspecting students. But deep down, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was terribly wrong. As I was washing my hands, I heard the restroom door creak open, and my heart skipped a beat. I glanced at the mirror, and there it was, the clown, standing in the doorway, their dark eyes staring right at me. Panic consumed me, and I knew I had to get out of there. Without a second thought, I bolted from the restroom and made a beeline for the nearest exit. The school staff was already on high alert due to the clown sighting epidemic that had been sweeping the nation, and my report of a creepy clown on campus only intensified their concern. The school went on immediate lockdown, and announcements echoed through the halls, instructing students and teachers to stay in their classrooms. My heart raced as I tried to process what had just happened. The clown was real, and it was inside our school. In a state of panic, I found refuge in the electrical room, hidden from view. The sound of my own rapid breathing filled the small space as I clung to the hope that the police would arrive soon and put an end to this nightmare. Hours felt like an eternity as we waited for the authorities to apprehend the person behind the clown prank. Finally, the police burst into the school, their serious expressions comforting and reassuring. They swiftly located the individuals responsible for this chilling stunt. Relieved, I emerged from my hiding place, but the fear didn't dissipate. That encounter had left a lasting mark on my psyche. From that day on, clowns, once symbols of joy and laughter, became the embodiment of terror for me. Despite the truth being revealed and the culprits behind bars, the fear of clowns lingered. Halloween parties and circus-themed events became unbearable for me. The laughter that once echoed through the school halls now seemed to carry a haunting echo of that fateful encounter. As the years passed, my fear of clowns remained, a constant reminder of the night my world was turned upside down. Though I tried to rationalize it as just a prank, the image of that creepy clown's face, staring at me with malevolence, continued to haunt my dreams. It was a sunny afternoon, just like any other, when the news of riots and protests spreading from the city reached our small town. At first, we brushed it off, thinking it would be contained to the city. But as the hours passed, the unrest crept closer, and fear began to grip the hearts of our community. As the sun began to set, our store manager made the difficult decision to initiate a lockdown. Panic spread like wildfire among the employees and customers, unsure of what was coming our way. We quickly locked all the entrances, turning our once lively store into an impenetrable fortress. Outside, we could hear the distant sounds of sirens and the murmurs of the approaching mob. Anxiety and uncertainty loomed in the air as we huddled together, nervously peering through the windows. The once tranquil neighborhood now felt like a war zone. The mob arrived at our store, faces masked with anger and desperation. They banged on the windows, demanding to be let in. Fear gripped us all, and we knew that our store's security was no match for their rage. In that moment, I realized the fragility of our safety and the vulnerability of our existence. Our store manager, taking quick action, led us to the back of the store, away from the danger. We found refuge in the store's refrigerated room, the cold air offering some relief from the suffocating tension. The once bustling store was now eerily silent, as if the chaos outside had been shut out. In that tiny, cold room we waited, hearts pounding, as minutes turned into hours. The sounds of the mob's rage outside were deafening, and I couldn't help but fear for my life and the lives of my colleagues and the innocent customers caught in this nightmare. Time seemed to stand still as we clung to each other, offering silent reassurances amidst the fear. Would we make it through this night? Would help arrive in time? These questions haunted my thoughts, drowning out the noise outside. And then, like a beacon of hope in the darkness, the sound of sirens grew louder. The police had arrived, and with their arrival, a sense of relief washed over us. They bravely confronted the mob, dispersing them and restoring order to our once peaceful town. As we emerged from the refrigerated room, we were met with the reassuring presence of law enforcement, ensuring our safety. The ordeal had come to an end, but the impact of that night remained with us for a lifetime. The fear, the uncertainty, and the vulnerability we felt were emotions that wouldn't easily fade away. In the days that followed, the community came together to heal and rebuild. We learned the importance of looking out for one another, of standing united in times of crisis. The scars of that night remained, but they served as a reminder of our resilience and the strength we find in each other.